Well, hello, my Jedi friends. Today we're going to talk about how you can empower yourself. Be empowered, folks. Be empowered. So, as with most stuff that I talk about, this is not easily done. It's very easily said. It's not as easily done. So, it's going to require you taking in many ways a completely different mindset to the one that you've gone along with up until now. And that's really a result of you being pissed off to the point where you've drawn forces into your life and you're now ready for something different. You're feeling the dark night of the soul. You're feeling frustration. You're feeling isolated. You're feeling lonely. You're feeling pissed off, folks. You're feeling pissed off. Pissed off you are, which is why this will work. See, the universe will crank up the frustration, the bullshit factor, the idiots in your life until you get this, until you wake up, till you decide to empower yourself. And here's the big reveal, folks. You're the only one that can do it. You are the only one that can empower yourself. If you're waiting for somebody to come along and say, wow, I think I'm going to empower you. Here is the hand of empowerment. I am going to place that upon you, my Jedi friend. Now is the time. Well, this video is probably as close as it gets to that, folks. It's as close as it's going to get to you because you have to do it for yourself. So let's start with that caveat. You have to take responsibility for your own empowerment, and nobody can empower you without your permission. And no one can disempower you without your permission. We've talked about this. We've talked about it. We've talked about it. We've talked about it. So I'm going to reintroduce a couple of key concepts now to bring all of this together for you. So the first thing is that if you are high empathy and you've been giving, you're a giver, you're a people pleaser by trade, or you've certainly spent most of your life in people please mode. That means that you're high empathy. You're high empathy, which means that you want people to like you. And this is your gift and your curse because you're good with people, but you're too good with people, especially the arseholes, the psychopaths, sociopaths, the narcissists, folks. So this is stuff we've talked about. So keys to personal development and the keys that most people don't get. This is really important. Really, really important that you get this. That our personality, it's not all sweetness and light, folks. It's not. And we have to dance with our shadow. Dance with our shadow. What does that mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. I'll give you the fast track of what it means. If you look at all the behaviors that are pissing you off right now, they are parts of you that you haven't yet owned. No way, Adam. That sounds like bollocks. It sounds like bollocks. I'm not like that. I'm not that person. I'd never be mean. Well, fact is, folks, that there's certain situations or circumstances in life that you may not have come across yet that will bring out the worst in you, will bring out the worst, because ultimately we're here to survive. And some of you, uber spiritual, might think there's nothing anyone could do to me that would make me do anything bad to anyone else. Well, you never know that, folks. So let's take a few extremes. I'll take some extreme situations because we've all seen the films. We've all seen the films. Supposing the person that you love the most, you probably think, well, let's look at the extremes. You'd never kill anyone. You could never kill anyone. There's no circumstance that would make you do it. But let's just take a wild card here, a wild one, folks. Just supposing some absolute bastard, some bastard was threatening the life of someone you love. And the only way that you could stop them from dying was to kill the person that was threatening their life. There's an extreme. I mean, that's a wild extreme. The odds are you're going to probably go through your life and you're not going to face that extreme. But the bottom line is, until you are put in that situation, you don't know what you're capable of. There's a darkness within you, my friend. However light, however empathic, however sweet, however good you are with people, that there is a darkness within you that has not had the opportunity to arise yet. That's a fact, folks. It's a fact. And the more we disown that, the more we point at other people's behavior, say, oh, that's terrible. We start judging others. You don't know. You've not walked in their footsteps. If you got caught up in a drug cartel, for example, because you couldn't pay the bills and suddenly you're handed a gun and told to kill someone, well, if you don't kill them, you're dead. You're dead, folks. And people that could have been good people will turn into gangsters and have no conscience about killing people. That's the fact. If you were lucky enough to be born in a place where you weren't forced to join a cartel to survive, then it's easy to judge. It's easy to judge. Now, I'm bringing extremes here. We're talking extreme shadow situations. Just imagine if somebody was holding a gun to your head, fight or flight. Now, some empaths would just accept it. Maybe you believe in life after death. You just think, okay, well, that doesn't really bother me. But what if it was your kids? If someone was pointing a gun at the heads of your kids, folks. That's the type of situation we get to find out the darkness, the shadow, folks, the shadow. So we all have a shadow within us. And a lot of shadow work is getting people to appreciate that. And most empaths will have massive resistance to even opening up to the fact that we have a darker aspect of ourselves. Shadow, folks, the shadow. And this is the Skywalker Vader equation. There's certain situations where you're Vader, and there's certain situations where you're Skywalker. I do not believe that anyone is completely good or completely bad. We all dance in it. And through wanting to position ourselves as good, this is the gift and the curse of the light worker. You generally are, folks, generally a good person, but there is a darkness that lies within you, a darkness that lies within you. And until life gives you situations or circumstances for you to discover that, you can be delusional about who you are and what you are. What you are. Embrace the darkness, folks. Embrace the darkness. Which is why this army of assholes are brought into your world until you get so pissed off that you start to discover the darkness. The darkness rises within you, my friends. It rises within you. It is part of you. And the disownership of that is part of the pain that you're experiencing. If dark forces are coming into your world, it's because you have not embraced the darkness within you. And that's why a lot of the exercises, a lot of the videos that you'll see on this channel are boundaries, tell people to fuck off, draw the line, enough is enough. Enough is enough, folks. When you realize that you can be brutal and slightly dark where you need to match darker energy. Some people with no empathy come into your world, and trying to reason with them is not going to work, folks. It's just simply not going to work. It isn't. It's first you'll get a yellow card and then it's a straight red, but most empaths won't see it. Oh, I'll reason with them. We've talked about how narcissists play a fantastic game to entangle good people. I'm going to say good people. That's wrong in the context of this. You're a generally good person, but you're not completely good, folks. You have to own the fact that you are at least a little bit dark. You're a little bit dark, folks. And if you haven't discovered that, then more bullshit's going to come into your world until you get it. It's a fact. This is a fact. The darkness is strong within you. Vader is out there. He is tempting you with his dark wares. This is a true story, folks. It's a true story. And a lot of advanced personal development is shadow work. Shadow work. There's a set of circumstances that will lead you to a dark place. You would make some dark decisions. You would be the darkness. You have that within you. And denying it is what causes the problem. Problem of suffering, pain, comes through the denial of the shadow within you. So what does that mean? And how do I get in touch with my shadow, Adam? Well, we talked about this, folks, with boundaries. It starts about being ruthless, absolutely ruthless with people that are serial offenders. This is waking up to narcissism, waking up to psychopaths, waking up to sociopaths. People whose rules, who do stuff that are just so terrible, so irreconcilable that you know that it's wrong. You know that that's not right. And they're doing this to trigger you to build your boundaries. Say, no, enough, enough of that. No, I'm not going to accept it. No, I'm going to stand up to this. Now I say, let's stand up to it, folks. We know the drill here. You choose your battles. 9 times out of 10, you're walking away because it's the easiest route. It's the path of least resistance, and life is too short, generally. You have to choose your battles wisely. Choose your battles wisely. Now, let's go all Sun Tzu on this. Sun Tzu, with battles in life. Battles in life. First, you choose the ground. A lot of great generals, they won their battles because they chose the ground. They chose where to fight. And that is the empath. That's your superpower gift, because the narcissist will fight anywhere. They don't care. They're so used to fighting and they're so used to winning that it doesn't matter. They don't choose their ground wisely. So you have the advantage when you decide to dig in, you decide to choose your battles, to choose your territory, what you're going to fight over, what you're going to draw the line. Now they might have a go at you. They might be cruel about stuff like your weight. They might be cruel about 100 different things about your friends, whatever it is. But you decide that the grounds that you choose, you draw the line when it's your kids. That's where you draw the line. The bottom line is, folks, you have to draw the line, because if you concede every battle, you'll always lose. You lose 100% of the battles that you never fight. And you can walk away from 9 out of 10 battles and still not lose, but you have to fight eventually, folks, or you have to retreat, you have to walk away. That's the fact. You cannot get all the way through life being lovely to everyone. It doesn't work that way, folks. Now, it may be that you surround yourself with a team that's slightly more ruthless for you. But at some stage, you are going to have to step up. You're going to have to make some uncomfortable decisions. You're going to have to piss people off. And so many empaths are resistant to this. They're resistant. That you cannot be empowered. You cannot live an empowered life if you think that you can be nice to everyone and that that's who you are. And from somebody who absolutely made that mistake for most of my life, I can tell you it's a very rude awakening when you finally realize that this is part of life's journey. Very difficult. And from reading through a lot of the comments, you're all going through it. You all chose a harder path. It wasn't meant to be easy, folks. It was not meant to be easy. You chose this because you're more advanced. You're an advanced soul. You have had challenges. Let's entertain the aspect of past lives that you may have been doing this before, folks. Now, you don't have to entertain that, but let's play a game. If you're not ready to entertain it, let's play a game. Let's pretend that you've been here before and you've had to learn multiple lessons. Or before you were born, you had to learn multiple lessons and you're here to learn advanced stage lessons. Now, you can't learn advanced stage lessons if your life is easy. Doesn't work that way, folks. That's not how it works. You have to have people piss you off. Have to develop aspects of your personality which are currently alien to you. And you're probably waking up to that, which is why you're watching this video now. And the truth of what I tell you is dropping like bombs in your system. Until you wake up to this, folks, until you own your darkness, your shadow. Darkness, shadow, probably feels a little uncomfortable, me even talking about that and mentioning it that and calling it that, folks. That's how uncomfortable it is, me calling it the shadow. No, there's no shadow within me, Adam. I'm a good person. I'm good. I'm just good. You're not, folks. No, you're not. You are not. You are not. And arseholes will keep coming into your life until you realize this. Until you realize there's a little bit of dark in you. There's a little bit of shadow that you need to work through. And your shadow is your friend. Because when you hit resistance in life, when you hit difficulties, when you're blocked on the way of your goals, where people say no, where you try and do stuff and people aren't doing it, you're going to need to develop a little bit of extra steel to get through that, to build your skin thicker, to not take no for an answer sometimes, to go back and be persistent, to be resilient, be like a honey badger, folks. Be a badger. Be like a badger. A badger, if they hit resistance, well, that's just the badger loves resistance. It means no difference. It will keep going until it gets what it wants to do, or it dies, one or the other. It dies or it gets what it wants. You need to be a little bit more of a badger, folks. A little bit more like a honey badger. And that is the lesson. That is where the darkness comes in. That is where your shadow self is your friend. There's certain circumstances where you need to bring out your shadow. You need to be a little bit more assertive. You need to be a little bit more no nonsense. And you need to be a little more resilient in a way where you're just not going to take no for an answer in certain situations. In certain situations, folks, stuff that means a lot to you, stuff that fires you up, stuff that pisses you off so much that now the fire is burning. The fire within you is burning, my Jedi friends. And now it is your turn to use that force for good, to use that dark force for good results. There's the critical distinction. To get good outcomes, sometimes we have to embrace the darkness. You have to embrace the darkness within you, my Jedi friends, you Skywalkers. Come Vaders, come Skywalkers, come Vaders. We are a little bit of both. We're a little bit of both, folks. A little bit of both. You are Skywalker. You are Vader. And the moment that you really own this, not just understand it intellectually, but own it, then life gets easier. Resistance gets less because you now have the option of dancing between different personality types in different situations to get different outcomes. And what you're effectively doing is developing more flexibility within the way that you work. So there you go, my friends. That is the lesson today. That's how you empower yourself. You dance with your shadow. Dance with your shadow, my Jedi friends. Dance with it because it will shine through. Your light will come out once you own your darkness. Ironic, isn't it? That your light will shine when you own your darkness. So there you go. There's my lesson, my Jedi friends. So to anyone new who's not yet subscribed, if you're watching now, I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel because it's going to help you. This is just one piece of the jigsaw. There's many more. And there's another piece of the jigsaw just there, folks, for your perusal. So, my Jedi friends, you will empower yourself, you will embrace your darkness, and you will shine your light.